from 2 to 3:30 p.m. for the program. Business Talk gain valuable insights into the world of business as we profile successful Liberian entrepreneurs in and out of Liberia as they provide business strategies, entrepreneurship, and financial planning. Business Talk, Business Talk, the one-stop shop in the world of business. Airs on Love FM 105.1 every Saturday, 2 to 3:30 p.m. Don't miss out. Business Talk in 1 hour 30 minutes. We provide listeners with up-to-date information and insights into various aspects of business and finance. We engage in insightful discussions with local and international business leaders, economists, entrepreneurs, and other professionals. Join Love FM 105.1 and Love TV Live this and every Saturday from 2 to 3:30 p.m. for the program. Business Talk gain valuable insights into the world of business as we profile successful Liberian entrepreneurs in and out of Liberia as they provide business strategies, entrepreneurship, and financial planning. Business Talk, the one-stop shop in the world of business. Airs on Love FM 105.1 every Saturday, 2 to 3:30 p.m. Don't miss out. You need not to miss out. I always say that welcome to the program Business Talk. Today's edition is a long presentation of Kina Phillips and Alpha some clarification that made them able to be on the show today as we continue to look at major things that people the growth and development of our beloved country of Nigeria, looking at specific components of our generation. So we've been talking about young people job creation, how to go about that, what is responsible for the antagonist of those things that cause the young people to struggle when it comes to job creation or giving them the ability to have access to job. But today, let me use this time to say happy World Press Freedom Day to all of us as journalists. Um, it was a colorful event that had say thanks to our colleagues who went out to celebrate this World Freedom Day. We are glad that we as journalists, we hold the public trust and we need to uphold and defend that integrity that comes with us holding the public trust. So I was struggling on the internet and I came across something very important. It's in line with job creation. So today we otherwise we have an extension of this topic, young people job creation. We are going to be looking at it from the media perspective. Yes, the media perspective. So there are a lot of things happening in the media, and some of those things are major things that are happening. The young people are the forerunners. The young people have been characterized in so many shapes and forms in a negative fashion. But we're going to open our eyes on the first and foremost thing that the impact the social media or the social media is making when it comes to journalism, what impact the social media is making when it comes to journalism. As you and I may know that the social media plays a pivotal role in our job since we have the creation of a wide social media platforms, you have the Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, you just know about it, just continue to lead those social media handouts or platforms that people use to disseminate information as fast as we can. You know, aside from conventional radio and television, the social media, everyone opportunity to have access one way or the other to social media. If not all, but vast majority of us we have access to internet and we have created social media platforms in our needs, in our for our businesses, and you just go about whatever means you have created for yourself to be a part of the digital age. And I want to bring to our attention this afternoon is no affront to our friends who will be singled out in this topic because this is something that is actually bringing this noble profession to public disrepute. We who stand for the truth and agents of positive change, we will not sit there and allow our profession to go the way it is going. We will not sit there and allow our profession, the prestige that comes with this profession, to go down the drain because of some bad apples amongst us. If we remain tight-lipped on these kinds of things, what's going to happen to us? All of us will be bucket in one, and our images will be dimmed, and the prestige that comes with the profession. I mean, those numbers that come with the profession will be derailed. So with that being said, um, looking at the media as one of the ways through which young people get employment or job is created. The role of the media, particularly social media, in job creation for young people hmm, is increasingly significant. Research have shown and indicated that a majority of young people or young individuals utilize social media platforms to explore career opportunities and connect with potential employers. For instance, 73% of job seekers aged between 18 to 30 found their latest job through social media. This trend highlights the importance of an online presence for both job seekers and employers. Employers are also adapting their recruitment strategies to leverage social media effectively. 85% of the organizations use social media for recruitment, recognizing its potential to search young people demographic who are more engaged on these platforms. Social media not only facilitates job posting, but also allows companies to showcase their workplace culture and values, which can attract young talents. Moreover, the content shared on these platforms can significantly influence hiring decisions. 70% of employers check candidates' social media profiles during the hiring process, looking for information that supports qualifications or reveals professionals' presence in particular. The real part of this matter, I mean, I'm talking about social media, it plays a pivotal role for both the employer and that of the job seeker. This underscores the necessity for young people to maintain a professional online image. In addition to traditional platforms like LinkedIn, several channels such as TikTok and Instagram are becoming vital in researching young audiences. Employers are encouraged to create engaging content that resonates with this demographic, including short videos that highlights career pathways and success stories. So, with that being said, this brought my attention So a lot when I came across what I'm about to play for you, it broke me down where young people are now using the social media for the wrong reasons. Young people are now using social media, both of the young people are now using social media for the wrong reasons. What am I saying? Now, let us understand that we who are media practitioners, this is one of the means through which information is disseminated in the tweaking of an eye. If you're doing the comparative analysis when it comes to information dissemination using the terrestrial means and that of the social media is faster now than the torrential means. Folks that are listening to the radio and there are folks who are following on the internet. How many people are now following when it comes to the radio? Bulk of us, the bulk of the young people nowadays, they are not radio freak. You do not pay more attention to the terrestrial radio or the television any longer. The full emphasis on the full attention is with the internet. So you go on the internet, go to the Bureau of social media platforms, Facebook in particular, LinkedIn, Instagram, the TikTok, you just need those social media and it's where to get their information, it's where to go to disseminate information, be it good or bad. So the media is no exception. As we celebrate World Press Freedom Day, let us celebrate this day consciously. So this has brought me to the point to read for us as we as journalists celebrate World Press Freedom Day. It brings me to the point to re-emphasize our commitment to the public by getting us to listen and take up the time to read our creed. It's just like the Holy Book. This is our own Holy Book for the profession of journalism. So it reads, I believe in the profession of journalism. I believe that the public journal is a public trust, that all connected with it are to the full measure of their responsibility, trustees for the public, that acceptance of a lesser service in the public service is a betrayal of this trust. I believe that clear thinking and clear statement, accuracy and fairness are fundamental to good journalism. I believe that a journalist should write only what he holds in his heart to be true. I believe that suppression of the news for any consideration other than the welfare of society is indefensible. I believe that no one should write as a journalist what he will not say as a gentleman. That bribery by one's own pocketbook is as much to be avoided as bribery by the pocketbook of another. That individual responsibility may not be escaped by pleading another's instruction or another's dividend. So I thought to read this for us so we get to know the background for which or the point for which we want to talk. Job, young people job creation, media perspective. Like I said, the social media is one of the places now that you as a young person you can get involved, you can get engaged. You see now the young people now have become influencers, social media influencers that go about doing all sort of you know, interesting things on social media because both of us, our attention is now directed to social media. If we want to be on top of news, we want to be on top of issues, we turn to the social media as fast as you can. You get it within time. The rapid response and all those stuff like that will definitely come with just by getting through social media. The profession of journalism, in particular, like I stated, is not just an ordinary thing for anyone to just join and start to do on every companies. It is important to know that In our country today, Liberia, we see the proliferation of media institutions. That comes about job creation, it brings about job creation. For most of our young friends who have the ambition, who have the, the love for the profession, they get themselves as quickly as they can join to media institutions. But let us face the reality. Now that you have love for the field, and every field do have ethical standards, they do have the rules and regulations that govern it. So, as a young person, having an ambition for the media, the first and foremost thing you do is to get to know what it entails, what the environment that you want to venture in, what it entails, what comes with the profession or the thing that you want to, the terrain that you want to venture in. That's why you hear people say terrain management. Get to know the do's and don'ts before you get involved into it. For most of our young friends, we understand that we have to videos that attracted to the media because this is one of the places that's so easy. This is one of the areas that's so easy in Liberia. I'm speaking from the Liberia context. That is so easy for you to infiltrate without even going to a formal school to acquire knowledge. So yes, today is World Breast Freedom Day, and we must see ourselves, put ourselves under the microscope. That's why I blended this job creation with the media perspective. Yes, it is good that people get involved with the media. Oh yes, you are interested in propagating message. You are interested in getting information to the public. But are you aware that it comes with responsibility? You must be trustworthy. Who is bringing the news? What is the character of that person that is bringing the news? If you lack this, you know what will happen? People will not get interested in following you. There are a lot of blogs, there are a lot of media platforms that people don't trust nowadays because of the way they disseminate their information, the way in which they disseminate the information. The social media is one of those areas that creates an enabling environment for anyone who has the mind to disseminate information from a media perspective. Or we have citizen journalists. Yes, everyone have now turned out to be journalists by extension. When I say extension, you have not gone to the formal school, you have not acquired the discipline, but mind you, the social media have empowered you to the extent when something is happening here, you see everybody, the first and foremost thing that they will do, they will take their phones to record or go live. And based on that, going live, based on the content that is being provided by them, there are rules and regulations that Facebook has. And if those rules and regulations are not followed, that's why you see a lot of people that pages are blocked. Now, social media is now paying people. Yes, job creation. We're talking about job creation. The social media is now paying people get content that will bring an influx of followers. And by people following you and the content that you produce on the social media, when you have the link with somebody who stays for those monetized countries, those countries that are on the monetization, you get them to connect or be the administrator of your page where you provide the content, and when the level reach for you to get the resources required, you start to get paid from the content that you present. So you see, a lot of people are now doing things on social media, all because they are following, all because they want that financial gain. But they understand that it comes with responsibility. What kinds of content are you producing? What are the content that you producing as a young person? Let's take, for instance, as a female or young female, you are interested in producing content. Are you taking up your time to undress yourself to go to stand before the camera and do all sorts of things? You have bulk of the following, or everybody following you, share your page and let your page. There are consequences. There will come a time in your life that you will not want to have, or you will not be able to get involved, or you will not have the interest to be involved with the social media any longer, producing content. So what will happen? Those negative content that you have created because you created a following in the past, you will start to want you. Some of you right now you don't know the future, so you're producing content in social media all because on the following and you want to catch that is engaging, but you fail to understand there are rules and regulations in other countries. There are trainings that are ongoing now, even on the social media. Some of those content creators have now created another means to push you, the new ones or those movie content creators, to produce content that will attract the people and that will pay off for you. So it boils down to us as journalists. Sometimes we miss our steps. And as we observe this World Press Freedom Day, let us hold it to ourselves that we hold the public trust. Anything lesser than the public interest is indefensible. It is not about ourselves, what we can get, but what are we presenting? For instance, Rufus just took up his camera, he goes to a business area, and this business area, he got a tip up. And this business area is carrying out some acts that is not healthy for the society. What is the responsibility of Rufus as a journalist? He's not just an ordinary person, he's just a content creator. He is a journalist. He goes in the name of being a journalist. Let's put it out for some of you because God smartphones, so you turn yourself as journalist. You go out, go all out. And I learned how you feel on some else what you and you confront the authority of that place, right? And the authority, it is their sole responsibility to provide the clarity. And you, as a journalist or going in the name of a journalist, you have your own roles and responsibility in that process. You must be independent. You must get the clarity and balance whatever you want to take out to the public because it has a lot on you and on the information that you're going to provide to the public because the public isn't there. You are the picture. You went out to bring whatever information that you thought is wise for the public. Or do you know the consequences? So I say this to say there are some young journalists who went out to the water institution, down, right? The water company. It has been circulating on the social media. Some of our friends in the name of journalists, and some of them have gone to the crowd and are practicing. Went out to this institution on the grounds of having a tip up that this water company was carrying out some green water of the expired, quote unquote, alleged expired water. The Ministry of Health, National Public Health Institute, um, the National Wash Commission, and all these institutions have gone out there to do their findings. And it was clear that this company in question is satisfied, is providing quality and safe water to all. So you will hear in the video one of the directors of this Damo Water Company stated that they were put under pressure by these journalists. These guys who went in the name of journalists, being a journalist, if they do not provide some ransom, they will publish the video that they got in their possession about the re-watering of the Damo mineral water and all those kinds of stuff. Let me see this and send this as open invitation if you are following to individuals that have been accused by the management of the Diamond Water Company, stating that these guys went out. The names will be called in the video. She did call them in. The names of those individuals that went out to them requesting ransom if it is not provided to be published. And let us understand that if even for best practice, this institution, water institution, was involved into such dubious acts for humanity's sake and for the public, the general public well-being as a journalist. We were to get the facts and we were approached in a manner and form concerning what you saw. It is your mind duty to be very ethical in your reportage. Where you stop and err, let us say this, you requested ransom, allegedly requesting ransom from the institution if that is not provided according to the lady that she stated. You will publish whatever video you have. That alone have killed the prestige and the pursuit of clarity in the video that you saw. That video that you saw on the social media or that were posted on the social media has been alleged by the management of the Diamond Water Company. That was sometime in April. Yes, we saw those things, and it brought a serious situation to the management of the Diamond Water Company that they had to go no other way but to pursue in making clarity with documentation being provided. The receipts and documents from the various institutions that are responsible for scrutinizing water companies' production and so forth. And in the conclusion of that video that I'm about to play, the lady stated that these individuals they will be sued or they are pursuing legal action against them for the publication they made after they have made themselves available to give the journalist the clarity the journalist requested ransom and refuse. If refuse to provide the ransom, they would have published, which of course they did publish, bad and troubling videos from the Diamond Water Company compounds. So let's play for you the video, and then when we come back, we're going to chant on that the more. All right. So let's play for you the video. Listen to what the lady had to say. So it is up to our colleagues whose names will be mentioned here to reach out. I will open the lines. You call and make the clarity on those issues that have been leveled against you. All right. So let's listen to what the lady had to say.
A producer of Diamond Mineral Water, I have come to do clarification on videos circulating in the social media in recent times is false and misleading. In some time back, we had some water had never been disposed with the supervision of the Ministry of Health. We were in the process of disposing of water by the means of entering water. Some individuals believed to be generated as a thing about premises. They started to recording. In the video, was seen that Dama Mineral Water is into recycling of the expired water, and they have talking with our staff. When the brothers really came to our office, they started to blackmail us that we should give them money. If we don't, they will post the video. Our constant refusal to adhere to their blackmails led them to post the video, and I will leave those individuals believed to be journalists. And Morgan, Timothy Tapoli, Joseph Talent, Emmanuel Chile, Eddie Jebo, and Joseph Tube. We received these documents from Ministry of Commerce that Diamond Mineral Water is perfect. Our water quality test from Standard Lab, National Standard Lab, AFL, you can see the result from AFL, certifying that Diamond Mineral Water has met the quality for consumption. I will show you people the certificate, the dumping certificate from Ministry of Health. That Diamond Water was not doing anything illegal. And Diamond Water in no way can do recycling of water. I have come to inform you to clear the air, not to listen to those blackmailers. Those people are criminals. And Diamond Mineral Water will not take it lightly. We will sue them, we will take them to the law. Malawian people do not listen to those criminals. Do not take them serious. Every video that is posted on the social media is false and misleading. Diamond Mineral Water is the best, and Diamond Mineral Water will remain the best. We will continue to work with government bodies that are responsible for regulating to ensure that the standard of water quality is met. Diamond Mineral Water say.
So you see that based on their actions, they have been branded as quote unquote criminals. You went out there in good faith. You went out there in good faith to investigate a level of transaction that was ongoing, allegedly, where you are quoted that recycling of expired water was being carried out in the compounds of that institution. But to no avail. You shot yourself in the leg doing your investigation. You allow one of the errors that you had along the way, you breach the ethical standard in your investigation. You breach the ethical standard. You identify yourselves as X, Y, and Z that came to do some investigation on a tip off that you had concerning this Diamond Mineral Water Company engaging into recycling and all the stuff. That was very perfect of you. Going forward, we know institutions get involved with things, and at the end of the day, they tend to shield themselves all because they do not want the bad image to go out in the public. So they can do all they can. So you who went on the scene and came across a scene that is in line with your own investigation that you want to carry out. The sole purpose of your investigation was for the public interest. And that I respected you for so highly. But where you breach the ethical standard is by you engaging in the request of ransom from the institution that's being accused after having quote unquote evidences. We're talking about job creation and utilizing the environment or the space given us as young people for the positive good and growth of our lives and the general public. You had a very good point. You have a very salient point. But your engagement, your extension in requesting money from the accused party have empowered the accused institution to come up to public and engage or paint you as, quote unquote, you listen to the video, as criminals. Because persistently, according to the video, you listen to the lady, they refuse your request made after you have gone the extreme, presenting video evidences to them. They still refuse to bow down to your request. What was your duty as a journalist? Your duty in that line was to take this information to the institutions that are responsible to carry on vetting and supervision. You have MPhil there. You have the Public Health Institute. You have the regulatory body that satisfied goods and services in this country, goods in this country. Go to them with your evidences as a journalist. You want this thing in the best interest of the Liberian people. So that's why you got engaged. Right now, your character is on the line. And the image of journalism or journalists in the country have been put at stake because of your dealings. Why request money from the lady if you know very well the story that the facts that you got in your possession about this institution doing recycling and other stuff? Remain on it. Be persistent. So this is where we come in to say media institutions, the owners of media institutions, there are more needs to be done, not just by putting the equipment in the building, not just by putting all of the necessary for the time being, then you just leave the human capacity building. There must be a periodic time where people will have to go and train so that these journalists do not have ethical breaches. It is important that media owners get involved for the needs, how you call it, the betterment of the profession. Because if you have your reporters going in the field and requesting money on a story that we all know that is true, if it is true, then he or she goes out there and says, just give me something, I will kill the story. You know what it means to the journalism profession? That's why we are not regarded nowadays. And today happens to be World Press Freedom Day. Let us look at ourselves. Let us place ourselves under the mirror. Both of us are not proceeding wise. Both of us are not proceeding in the right direction because we are bringing the prestige and the morale of this noble profession to public ridicule. Instead of you being called the proper way, you are now called join the list. Why you should be called journalist? The high level of respect should be given you. See what you've done to yourselves. And if a lawsuit is filed against you, trust me, what will be the outcome? You will have to pay it, every damage that you have caused the institution. Because just by you publishing something that you did not verify and you just run to the airwaves with it and using the social media, one of the fastest way now to disseminate information, just run to the social media like that, you have plunged yourself into a situation that becomes so unbearable. Because if this institution, the Diamond Mineral Water Company, press charges, like the lady have said, continuously rather in her speech, if charges are pressed against you in the competent court of jurisdiction, what will you do? So it is the time that the press union will come up to say the media is under attack? That's why we continue to say to the leaders of the press union of Liberia, there must be a reform in this noble profession of ours. A general reform, a process of overhauling the entire system. Because we have people who have gotten in the space and are proceeding wrongly. And it is not just affecting them alone, it is affecting all of us, even some of us who strive to do the right thing. We've been questioned. Our integrities are on the line because of the massive unethical things that are now done in the media space. Now, you guys went with the intention of unearthing something so that the public get to know, but because of your quest, your desire for finance, you went all out and shooting yourself in the leg doing your investigation. Here you are now. If you saw that as a good, it has now turned out to be bad for you. So, gentlemen, we need to be very careful as we go out in pursuit of our career. As we practice, let us get involved with the positives. A journalist is not a judge. Your duty and responsibility is to go and unearth those things. And there are certain things that there are certain information in it. If it is not for the public welfare, it isn't worth publishing. That's why I took up the time to read our creed to you so that you understand. They say, if it is not in the interest of the public, let me read it for you so that you learn it, so that you know that some of the things that you guys do is not healthy for the profession. It says, I believe in the profession of journalism. I believe that the public journal is a public trust, that all connected with it are to the full measure of their responsibility. Trustees for the public, that acceptance of a lesser service than the public service is betrayal of this trust. You see it? A lesser service of the public service is a betrayal of the trust. So we're going to open the line 0887 105 105 0778 665 are the numbers to call and have your say on this as we celebrate World Press Freedom Day.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, this is Kennedy.
Kennedy, how you doing?
I talking to Kennedy?
No, sir. This is Love FM.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Sorry. Let's get to the line and take this person. Hello?
Rufus. Good afternoon, Rufus. How you doing?
I'm okay. What's your name and you join us from where?
This is your friend Joseph Freeman from Broadville.
Joseph, how you doing? Long time.
Yeah, brother. We are around. Thank you.
I know. Have you say, my brother?
Yeah, thank you. You know, this is a problem for us in the media most of the time because we also follow you guys. You know, one mistake you make, the ABC, one mistake you make, you in trouble. And this is the problem. Let's say now, so if the water was polluted seriously, that would cause serious health hazard for citizens. So when the guys were going to take money, I agree now, they polluted. These guys were going to take money to jeopardize the life of the Liberian people.
Oh, yeah? That's why
What?
I mean.
You telling me, Rufus?
That's why I mean.
I've been seeing you in a profession more than 23, 25 years. Then you're going to take how much? How much diamond water we're going to give you if it is proven, it is established that the water was actually polluted, it was not good for human consumption. Then you even take 500,000. You're going to kill a lot of people.
That's why
because for me, I don't drink any other water. I only drink diamond. Because why? It planted the bottle big.
Oh, yeah.
Because when I buy it big, it's bigger than the other bottles. But you're telling me now that it is polluted and you don't have no facts, no clarity, nothing. You only say, allegedly you want money. Then you leave it. So the water is polluted now. When you take money now there, it kills a lot of human beings. So meaning you We used to say back more than 20 years, join the list. You are not journalist anymore. You look at how you bring. You are being bring as a what? As a criminal. Then the institution also will be dragged because of where you came from.
No,
And other journalists who are not even part of it, they will also be part of the because tomorrow when they want to interact with a business person now with any individual, we are so skeptical, we are afraid to come across. Because the story will go, if I give you hand up, then there will be a problem. Even you lie on me, I'm gonna give you hand up. Come on, man, brother. Thank you ever so much.
thank you so much, Yusu. Thank you so much. This is where we are. This is the challenges that we are faced with for some of us who strive to remain professional. We are now regarded. We've been lashed at and taking all of the bullets for the people who are involved into unethical things, unorthodox things, preaching the sacredness of this profession. So if you are following us and you are in the diaspora, you can hit me up on that WhatsApp number that is on the screen there. And let's get to talk. Make your input. Today is WordPress Freedom Day. So not otherwise, we are on a series job young people job creation. So we are looking at it from the media perspective. Yes, we know that bulk of the young people are now in the media. They are not there because they have the passion for the media. They are there because they know that it is the means through which they get quick money. It is the means through which they get quick money. You got some tip off about some unorthodox things that is actually going on for real. Let's take it at that, for real. Let's say, for instance, if the Diamond Water Mineral Company for real was involved into such a thing, and then the public trusts you are the watchdog of the society. You got the tape off that they are doing recycling. Let's take it at face value. You went out there and you were opportune to grab some footages. The next thing you did, you confronted them that this is what you are doing, and we have evidences to prove our claim against you. But in order for that, since we you don't if you don't want us to go public with it, give us this X amount of dollars. So are you telling me that, okay, let's agree that Diamond Water Mineral Company was actually involved into such an act? So they take that ransom and give it to you, and still their products are all out. For me, I do drink the Diamond water, mineral water, because like my brother Jusu said, the bottle is big and it has a lot of So I get involved in drinking the Diamond water than any other water too. You seen it? So I would be affected. Let's take, for instance, if I, Rufus Divine kind of was the one who went to do that investigation and I requested a ransom from the people. I take that money. I keep it by myself. Then my daughter or my son go out and is tested. He needs to drink. He came across the Diamond mineral water. He buys it or she buys it. Drink it. So she get involved by drinking that water. Her pa, when they scream and took money, her pa took money from the people that are producing that bad water. Her pa took money and he ate it. But here is it now. It has turned out on him. Though he took the money and enjoying himself, but bulk of that money will be spent in the hospital because his daughter have come across the bad water and unknowingly she consumed it and she's been affected. So you see, our brothers did not calculate well. Our brothers, because of their quest for the money and not the desire for the profession, have gone the wrong way. So 0778 665 073, 0778 665 073, 887-105-105 are the numbers to call. Call now and let's talk about it. And for those of you in the diaspora who want to weigh in on this topic, we are looking at the media from the media perspective. Those who. Okay, we have this person on the line. We have this person on the line. Morris, Holly, right? Morris Holly is on the line. Let's hear Morris. Let's hear from Morris. Morris, how are you? Well, I'm doing good, Morris. Where are you joining us from?
From Germany.
Okay, Morris, you joined us from Germany. Let's hear you, Morris. You've been listening to us. What's your take?
Yeah, I listened to all you said, brother. I have concern about the country. I will find ourselves where the country will have around the world, which is Liberia. And the journalistic countries are reporting news that they're not supposed to be on the medias, which will give bad image to the country. Most concern I have was Spoon Network. Spoon Network live in America, but it instruct every small thing in the country what can be accident. Plot on people, people in the toilet. It should be put it on the air, which are, for example, put in there for the country. It's scared other investor to come in the country. Well, we take a big platform in the country. And everything that go on in the country, whether is bad or is good, they don't report a good stuff, but a bad will report, which is not helping our country.
So let you listen to the clip that we played, if you did, and the Diamond Water
Yeah,
Mineral Company have come up with a strong water statement, branding these journalists who went out there to investigate, allegedly accused them of well, what we call requesting ransom for them to cover up whatever evidence they had against the Diamond Water Mineral Company. And the persistency in refusing caused the journalists, the quote unquote journalists, to publish the bad image video of the Diamond Water Company. And the company now, through a press statement, have issued stating that they are going to take legal charges against these individuals and branding them as criminals. What's your take?
yeah, yeah. I didn't know that. I don't really follow the story, but really, I don't recommend the police in the media space. It's not every story like you should put it on the media as a journalist. I think the police will step down to control the media too. As you said, the leadership should work in direction of that to put things in all of our country. Because the image that you carry out here, what people looking at what the social media is very fast to get bad things. And people see it every day and night for Liberia, which of course is not good for our country. But what you are speaking to, I will not follow your story.
I will
But
play. I will
it
play.
not
I will
only
play
be
that
Tama
again.
Mina water, my advice is not only be Tama Mina what individuals you take steps against all of people that get people on the social media to talk about people why they don't have any evidence on that.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Morris. Thank you so
Hmm?
kindly for being a part of the show.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for having me on the show, bro. Thank you.
Okay, Morris. He's Morris. He says he's in Europe there. Thank you so kindly for joining us. If you want to weigh in as well, we are talking about job creation, youth job creation um, from a media perspective. Yes, we say the social media plays a pivotal role now in information dissemination. It is through the social media that my brother George and others are watching and listening as well simultaneously, and they are able to make their input. So, from a journalism standpoint, most of us are misusing the opportunity afforded us through these social media handles. We get to publish things that are not called for. Like I read our creed that states a lot of positive things that we need to do, the ethic upholding the ethical standards. Let me read for you again the journalist creed. This creed is our own Bible that we need to read as often as we can and follow what is in it. It says, I believe in the profession of journalism. I believe that the public journal is a public trust. Let us underscore public trust. The public journal, the media platforms, your radio station, your newspaper, your Facebook, your blog on the social media and stuff. Okay, so I believe that the public journal is a public trust, that all connected with it are to the full measure of their responsibility. Now, we understand, I will break this down as in parts. We understand that most of our friends who are now seen on the social media, calling themselves talk show hosts, calling themselves political commentators, they should not forget that you are operating in a space that calls for professionalism, a space that comes with ethical standards. So if you are operating in that space, you must follow the rules that governs that space. And what is the rule? You must have the ABC. You must be accurate, balanced, and you must be clear or credible. Hmm? So if you are working in that space, in as much you are providing information dissemination, you must adhere to the rules that governs the profession. So it says, I believe that the public journal is the public trust that all connected with it are to the full measures of their responsibility. Trustees for the public trusts you. That was, yeah. Now somebody say, what you hear? I hear you on the radio. I saw it on the internet. The people will not lie. People trust the media to the extent if even the information is not verified, but it's coming from a media outlet, coming from a media practitioner, they believe it. If I sit here right now and just spell out some kind of information that will shake the entire country, people will now even want to go further to investigate. They believe it because the person that is providing the information, who is he? He's a journalist, and you expect more from me. So you trust me to the extent. So people who find themselves in the journalism space, even if they are not to be trusted, people trust them because journalism comes with a lot of glamour. It comes with lots of respect and responsibility. So people are just joining the space because this is one of the easiest profession in this country called Liberia that anyone can just in a day or in a minute join and call themselves journalists. Oh yeah, now. All right. So long you get smartphone and the social media have made it so easy for her. So long you get smartphone, you're able to go places to capture scenes, or you are able to create it means that you carry on some press conferences. The next thing you calling yourself journalist. I'm a journalist because the social media have made it available for all of us. But within the space that where you think you cannot go to the courtroom to plead on someone's behalf because there are standards laid out. Why you think you can just come from high school, you go straight to the law school? There are standards put into place. So that's why that area is so sacred. People who operate in that space, they go, there are certain level you need to reach before you have access to that area. So you must have first come out of high school. Secondly, obtain your first degree before you can go to even apply for the or set the entrance of the law school. But before you even you will go through vetting, all the things that they scrutinize you before you even get into the system. You see it? The nurses, the doctors, the health fee is one of the areas too. You cannot just get somebody to start practicing medicine without then acquiring the necessary knowledge. So the same way restrictions and procedures have been laid out for these other professions, if we can take on that same path and create that environment where people will be scrutinized before you even take, even on your own social media page. You cannot just say anything anyhow. So, what more you are writing or voicing on a radio station or writing for a media institution. Because why you go to the school, or why it is important that you go to the school to acquire the knowledge that comes with that field. It will give you a clearer understanding the do's and don'ts. That's what we call the ethical standards. For anybody, young boy, young girl, because the media is so polarized to the extent owners of the media institutions no longer care. In as much you can sit on the radio and talk, you can sit on the platform and just ring insults and propagate their messages. Oh, yeah, be journalists. You're in their space. They don't care what you put out there. It has the propensity of plunging the entire country into unbearable situation. Like our brother was talking, there are some information. Bulk of us as journalists, we only create for the negative things. We only want to report the bad things. What about the good things that are happening around? What can we show the good? Who told you? Go to Ghana. So for some of us who have been there, go to Ghana. Take a look at the people television. Take their newspapers. Nobody say you should be a praise sinker. No. Nobody say you should be a praise sinker. When the good things are done, it is commendable. When the bad ones are done, you criticize and make the recommendation. Yes, you're right, Mr. Phillips. They are citizen journalists. Mr. Phillips, let's get to what he had to say here. Being a citizen journalist is a powerful thing, but there are standards you have to follow and adhere to. Yes, it is critical for credibility. Oh, yes, that's it, Mr. Phillips. You are right. Because the social media is available for everybody. Nowadays, for instance, a tragic motor accident just occurred somewhere around here. The first thing people will do, instead of them doing the safety or putting in safety measures to take those involved in the accident to the hospital and do the needful, we'll take our various phones. We want to be the first to report it. We're going live. And when we are reporting, we forget to know there are standards to which we should be reporting. But we don't care. You know that Facebook nowadays, you don't show dead bodies, you don't show bloody scene or some harsh scene. That's why you see, for some of you who are lovers of media movies, even on the how to call it DSTV, when you see the people showing them coming up, they will put you up some signs. Strong, violent language. SBL. Those are all things they will indicate so that you who come and watch that movie, you should brace yourself to know that you will hear some violent languages, you will see some violent scenes. So if you as a parent, you will take you from those kind of disclaimer that is put out so that your child or your children cannot watch that movie. So you now, you don't have any idea of good journalism. You see the man's neck is broken in an accident. The next thing you go, you take camera, you put it on the people, you showing it. Oh, the man down. Now, that one of the things we journalists, most of us, we find ourselves doing. You are not clothed with the responsibility to declare someone dead when you have not gotten a medical report. It is the doctor, after examination, who is responsible to say, okay, with all examination carried out on this person, the pulse, everything not active, this person is now declared dead. Then you, as a journalist reporting on the scene, you say, with all of the medical exercises and medical examinations carried out, the data have reported, quote the data, have reported that SYC person who is involved in the accident is reported dead. Data's report have it that 6 people after examination from the accident are reported dead. 10. But you just said that from the local thing, The way I see it, so the 9 people that are in it, like what happened to how to call it, sir? Boston there. Whoa, my people, everybody in the Canada. Everybody in the Canada. Until gradually, when people started to assist, we saw people who were involved started to shake and started to, something. I think 3 people were taken out and life. So the first error that you had, everybody died. The truck rolled all the people, nobody lived. And they started taking living body for in the time say, whether you have lied to your audience. So it is not your responsibility to venture in that area. So if you have, say, these people were involved in an accident or tractor motor accident along the Route Highway, they are presumed to be dead. They are presumed to be dead. They are not dead, but from the local things, how people looking at it. So that's why there are words, there are jargons in the profession. So if you are not schooled in that area, you know that terrain. So even in the law, the people who study law, so the person who carried the case to the court and the person who is being accused, they got names for them, how you can call them. You got the plaintiff, you got the defendant, and all these, they got names. So in journalism, to put yourself, if you know very well you have not verified the information, it is good for you to say alleged. The word alleged gives you a comeback. The word alleged gives you a comeback that people will understand that when he was saying this thing, he said alleged. That shows that he has not done the due diligence, to get the actual thing, but to a certain extent, he has, some little input to make when it comes to the issue that has occurred. It's alleged that the water mineral company was involved into recycling of expired water. So, for instance, if investigation is carried out and it is proving that they were not involved into such a thing, I cannot be held negatively. You know why? Because I use the word alleged, because I have not verified. It's alleged. It was alleged. Oh, as you can see, they can't hit the man. The man that died. You doctor? You're not a doctor. So we are misusing the space created for us. Especially this goes to our young friends who are in the profession. Some of you just get in the profession, oh my man, you know what we can do? I noticed that man involved into song and dubia. So let's get on him. Say, oh, yeah, we get some facts about him. And when he show faith, then we'll publish it. You'll get a threat. Then we'll get a small thing. That's the kind of journalism that we now see around us here. Blackmailing. And I must say this. We appreciate the Table Mountain Declaration. We appreciate the Ambler Act. But these acts have created a serious build up for the unethical things that are now happening within the media land space. Because we feel that the acts created an enabling environment for us to speak out as journalists. So we use that as a shield to malign other people's character. So we cannot be sued for libel. We cannot be sued for slander. Come on. Let us face this for fact as we observe World Press Freedom Day. Let us own up to our errors that we made in the media, that we continue to make in the media. And we have our friends who are actively practicing breaching the ethical standards in bold letters in the faces of the people that hold authority. The press union of Liberia. Right now, people are carrying on ethical things. We are not speaking against them. Our own people, some of them, they say, and I'm a member of the press union, so I can do anything I want to do. But when you are brought for questioning, you say, oh, the media is under attack. My brother, you say you are not a journalist, you are a political commentator. But yeah, you there, after carrying on ethical things, the people want to chastise you for your unethical behavior. Then you say the media is under attack. And that's where our authority now coming in. You know, they want authority coming in now. They want to identify our journalists was being handle and this is unfounded. They thought the people important they can read the people. But when your member or somebody who is working within your space were carrying on ethical things, you did not hold him to check. But when the people press charges against him or press charges against her, at time you can come and say, no, the media is under attack. No media under attack. Because the fact of the matter, we allow these unethical things. If you have people, why you think, let me give you a classical example. With all that is happening within this whole impasse at the Capitol, you had the president of the Bar Association coming up with a strong water statement. And then you have other people who are also part of that body distancing themselves from his statement. You know why? Because ethically, your role and responsibility in that line is guided by professionalism. It is not based on your feelings or your association. So we saw the Law Day being boycotted by the Chief Justice, that the entire bench of the Supreme Court. They boycotted. You know what that speaks? It speaks volume that the president may have been right in some areas, but holistically speaking, the path he took had an undertone, political undertone from all walks of life. You understand? So the approach by individuals now, it depicts allegedly that he, as the head of that body being elected, he was once a candidate feeding on the emblem of the ruling establishment. So people are now alleging that it is based on his alignment with said party. Yeah, based on his alignment with said party, he's also engaged. He's also engaged. His statement came as a means of identifying with the party and all the kind of stuff. Allegedly, you see that? So let us face the reality. Our actions shouldn't be characterized by our feelings. That if you are working within a space now, Rufus Devon kind of said, I gave you a classical example. The last time my brother that I'm next to was involved into a court issue. And he called me, my man, there's this thing happening now, there's this thing happening in the area, and that's why I said, okay, I hear you, but when I'm getting involved into this thing, I'm not coming as a brother to you. I'm coming as a journalist because it has to do with the public. And I cannot come and take side. No, I'm coming as a journalist and not a side taker. So what I did, and he understood that. I went and got the accuser side of the information. I got his side of the information. And then what I did, I balanced it. That is what is called for in the profession. Not because he's my brother, so I must defend him in any way. Am I lying the character of somebody because he's against my blood brother? Come on, no. No. I shouldn't. That is not what the profession called for. So we are just doing this thing. Most of our friends that are in the profession, they're just there because of what they can get. They are not there with the passion and upholding the sacredness of the noble profession. They just there, moment, you're being a thing says, rock or AJL, yeah, with that kind of, we lambasting the people, yeah, they're not buy a car. I live in the best life. My man, there's something called tomorrow. Let us spread it out. There's something called tomorrow. Today, you are talking tough, and the people are hailing you, giving you all of the glamour. You are the best talk show host, you are the best journalist in the town. But have you forgotten that you have a root? Your upbringing should be exemplified in your utterances. So you said on radio, you just use the F words, you just use all the negative words. The first thing somebody who is rather inclined will say, but this man is not from my home. This girl is not from my home. Why would she take onto the public space and start to rain insults? Right there, you know what's going to happen? Your family will be placed under questioning. He was not reared properly because no one who will grow up in a home will take onto the public space and do what you are doing. Rather than your family honor question you. The school that you go to, they honor question you. Then lots of things started coming out about you. Oh yeah. So I've been joined by my colleague Fan Fumba. This topic is very interesting. Fan Fumba is here. You're not seeing you on camera because
No.
you're gonna take us time.
Certainly, you wouldn't see me.
The man in front of camera.
Yeah, I hate even pictures. So
Fumba, this is it. You know.
Rufus, you struck several points that are important. I think our governance process had been heavily influenced negatively by our actors in the media. And this has been our problem. We have never separated a journalist from a public relations officer to someone who just bring or Facebook something. It's embarrassing because it creates a heavy loader because once the information is out, damage control is very expensive.
And that's the hardest thing in public relations.
It's expensive. And somehow I feel sad for people who just got a phone and then you just put a picture, you don't even have a caption. It's difficult. Now, today is press unions day, during
World Press Freedom Day.
Freedom Day. Now, I got some serious issues with our parent body. Because they were never been a loud voice. They are already taking sides. Our appropriation of the state now depends on the president of Liberia. All of the impasses. We see people crossing over as PR, specific PR. Before, let me tell you something. There are people in this country that sending the situation, they just believe in jail, I hold the Bible. That would be a holy Bible for them when they hear from the side. All right. They do not do research. This is why we try in our minimum way that people should do the second thought. Don't just listen to the station because they pray, oh, I thought to the station. No, they're not marriage. They're not marriage, you know. Because it depends on you as a citizen.
Fuma, let's squeeze in this person. Let's get this person. Hello?
Yeah, Rufus.
Joseph Freeman.
Joseph Freeman.
Let's hear you, my brother.
You know, Rufus, this thing you're saying, it is the right thing. But you know why it will not work? It will just remain the same. Lots of the media institution belongs to politicians.
Oh, yeah.
They say they do the will of the politician, the owner of the radio station. Check the radio station that politicians have in the country. And when you listen to some of the radio station with the join the list, their utterances, it has the propensity to create chaos in this country one day. Because I own radio station or you own, but whosoever you there, you're not going by your ABCO, but you're going by the individual who own the radio station. You should say things that will satisfy them, that will suit them. If they're to damage Rufus, they will say it to damage Rufus. In which, of course, it is bad for our country. And you should know, you are the fourth estate, fourth man in command in this country. You got the judiciary, you got the executive, you got the legislature. So you are the fourth estate. But you are not doing the right thing. Sometimes the authorities, when you hear from the political radio station, it's very bad. Sometimes we call, we erect the checkpoint for the country, we defend of the country, even more than the journalists. We who can call, sometimes we defend the country more than the journalists. On a serious note. Sometimes we say, when you say this, it will be this. What Joseph Freeman said, when you say it, sometimes it don't be anything. But if you, as an eminent person in society, national leader, you say that same thing, it can be good. It can be why? Because you got followers.
You're a man of permanence. Yeah.
People Thank you. You got followers. But people does not see all of this in Rufus. So it is just pathetic for us. The country has been politically charged. The legal issue has been 30%. The political issue has been just 70%. More than the legal aspect. And any country with all legal aspect, no legal aspect, the legal aspect there is the president is low, that country bound to not move. It is far from getting better. That's how Liberia looked like. So we Isa. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Yuzu. And you're interested to know, I was in a taxi cab headed to town on yesterday morning, and I listened to one of these radio station talk show, and I heard, the issue of Sandro Johnson saying that if anyone insults the president, he will insult them back. I just laughed. And this person who claimed to be a journalist sat on the radio, opened the line, and said, "What you make of Sandro Johnson and statement?" One lady called, an elderly person called. She always calling on those radio stations politically, engaged with one of the parties around here. Oh, when Sandro Johnson, then he should use some kind of F word. When he try it, when I used to be causing former President William, I will cause man too. I will be going to that. I will not be calling our own radio station. I will be going to other radio station and to their own radio station and be causing.
Rufus, my disappointment is us. Because we are providing any platform, we are not providing any guardians. There's nobody. If you want to advise somebody, you cannot be insulting at the same time. It doesn't work. Even that small child, I'll put in picture in there. Even that small child, you wanted the child to know, do they 1 year? Don't do the 1 year. You get that? Not do that thing. No. You gotta be calm. And that's been our approach.
Yeah.
Our approach in the media has been very, very wrong. Everybody money the winner in Liberia. I belong to this sir. I belong to the other sir. Apparently, all of black.
That's what I would say. Fan for my Rufus kind of, you'll continue to be working because.
My I get down. The God I said, you want
he provides money, according to his wishes.
My leg long.
And he provides everything,
And I'm not saying nobody for you to listen to me. You go up, you come down. The kind of red that I was red. About the grace of God. So I'm coming to call somebody to come make you feel happy. No matter how much you have, I will not beg you. You want to do it, it's left with you.
Joseph Freeman says something, and this is something that we would love to chant in on. He said, bulk of the institutions are owned by politicians. Even ours is owned by a politician. But guess what? We have a bargaining. Come what may. If Mr. Ure decides to go the way others are going, I'm not tied down to this station.
No way.
I take my exit because I know that there is a tomorrow. I take my bag and I'm out.
My picking a gas on and saying is dig and break.
Oh yeah. So if
that's not tomorrow.
Oh yeah. If I'll come because he's a politician
Yeah.
and you want me to
And
do that.
you start texting me,
And that's
man, I want
yeah.
you to talk on the one year.
And that's why I appreciate him so highly
Yeah.
for he doesn't get
He doesn't
involved
get
with our
interfere. He
dealings.
doesn't interfere
Yeah.
with our normal activities here, like others.
He doesn't interfere like where others will
No, others will
hey,
do.
my man,
You,
I'm my own man, and
you,
this will come on.
you censor every program.
One thing he always said to us, you must get your facts and you must be moderate in your utterances. Because mind you, if you want somebody to make a change, like you said,
Yeah.
you must bring out the facts.
Bring the facts.
And you must be
And
moderate in your interaction.
Even if you are advising,
yeah,
it shouldn't be with harsh words.
But I saw a post from one journalist. This our brother. He said, "I come and open a series on one of the government official. Come and open a series on him. That one he know me. I would deal with him. You know me.
It's already premeditated.
Come on, if you come to the public with that preconceived mind." And provide information according to you that you have in your care, how would the public look at that person? Then, at the final analysis, the information that you've provided are not facts. And I must appreciate our friends who are engaged with this fast checking. You know that the fast checking institution brought a relief in the election.
Yes.
And even it calmed down some of the tension that is roaming in the corridors.
I like to say hassle to Alpha Sequin and his entire crew.
Oh yeah.
They have done well. But they need to stretch out.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you, I was in Nimba. I told you about the reason why I was in Nimba.
Yeah.
Now, Sarah Watterson is also doing it in Pidgin English for community radios in Nimba. I think Alpha his group need to have more of the focuses on the community radio side and even the capital radios. My brother, the information out there is different. Everybody sees one person like an enemy. Politically, we can disagree, but we are not enemies. We got differences. But this is our country. After election, we need to move the country forward.
That's what I find on people, people who can be laughing at the Ghanaians. Ghanaians will always say, Ghana is the best, Ghana is the best. Who told you that not challenging moments in Ghana? They go so high on each other. But they know the common denominator.
Once the election is over, Ghana is first.
It's Ghana. I listen on that same radio station. The other guy called me. I want to know. I get one president and a former president.
Somebody been elected already. See, I already get my own president.
I love the guy. Say, hey, God. And you have somebody who calls himself a journalist who should be writing the various checkpoints for ethical behaviors. Then you say that you allow those kind of things slide. So the child that is growing up,
listen
to it, and he runs with it. He says, the child goes to school. Say, how many presidents Liberia have? He said, Liberia got one president. No, Liberia got two presidents.
But why are you president? And you call it president.
It's interesting. So let's listen to this. I'll play this once again. Some of our friends went in the name of journalism, in doing investigative journalism. They went to one of these popular mineral water company, to be precise, the Diamond Water Mineral Company, and they came up with a video. This video has to do with I saw the video. The video has to do with the guys doing this, disposing of the water that was in the previous bottle, and stuff like that. It was not like refill because they were taking the old products out because this company have been placed on the microscope by the authorities that are responsible for the regulation. So they came up with a rebranding of all of their, some. So what happened is that during that period where they capture all of
Yeah,
the
the
disposure
negative.
of
Yeah,
all those
yeah.
things, that's the video the guys had. They reach out to the people according to the information that is provided. They reach out to the people and say, look, we got a video on you doing recycling of expired water. So without delay, if you cannot provide this X amount of data,
No, that's
you
black.
cannot provide it X amount of data,
That's blackmailing.
we will publish it. So according to the lady, they were persistent in a quest for money. So they too, they built that resilience and said they were not giving a
Yeah.
dime because they were not in error
Let's go to the relevant authority.
and X, Y, and Z. As a journalist, they said,
Yeah.
okay, since they get a sneak peek of what was being done,
Mhm.
they provided. I saw that thing on the social media, on some of the blogs, and then it started running the Wi-Fi myself. That's why it's always good to fast check.
But Damo is one of the waters that is widely sold,
Mhm.
even in the traffic, at an affordable price. So I think this should be a propaganda spread by some group of individuals
Oh
who trying
yeah.
to
So
Yeah.
you now, as a journalist, you allow yourself to be
to be
used.
used.
And let me say this for the clarity. We have no link to Diamond.
No link.
We have
But
never
never
had
contacted
any
Diamond.
conversation with Diamond. We are speaking from a journalistic approach, and we want our friends to follow the principles of journalism. It's just been fair enough. It's just been fair enough. So, man, I want to publish it. So, listen to what the woman had to say. Let me play the thing for you. I mean, it's disgraceful. Then the woman now is terming them as creaminess. Can you imagine that? Creaminess.
Good morning, my fellow Liberian, and this is Hawa Mami Tama from National Perishable Producer of Tama Mineral Water. I have come to do clarification on videos circulating in the social media in recent times. It's false and misleading. In some time back, we had some water had never been disposed with the supervision of the Ministry of Health. We were in the process of disposing of water by the means of entering water. Some individuals believed to be generally accepting our premises. They started to recording. In the video, we're seeing that Diamond Mineral Water is into recycling of the expired water, and they have trusting with our staff. When the got video came to our office, they started to blackmail us that we should give them money. If we don't, they will post the video. Our constant refusal to adhere to their blackmails led them to post those videos, and I will leave those individuals believed to be journalists. Ansu Morgan, Tennessee Tapoli, Joseph Towers, Emmanuel Chile, Evan Jebo, and Joseph Tubin. We received these documents from Ministry of Commerce that Diamond Mineral Water is perfect. Our water quality test from Standard Lab, National Standard Lab, AFL, you can see the result from AFL, certifying that Diamond Mineral Water has met the quality for consumption. I will show you people the certificate, the dumping certificate from Ministry of Health, that Diamond Water was not doing anything illegal. And Diamond Water in no way can do recycling of water. I have come to inform you to clear the air, not to listen to the blackmail. Those people are criminals. And Diamond Mineral Water will not take it lightly. We will sue them, we will take them to the law. My Liberian people, do not listen to those criminals. Do not take them serious. Every video that is posted on the social media is false and misleading. Diamond mineral water is the best, and diamond mineral water will remain the best.
So yeah,
You hear it? These people had never met this individual before. You only drink from the water. The water has quality. Our brother, you're not doing us good. You
you
can
get
be a professional.
you got people branding
Then they
all
call you
of us.
criminal.
They're branding all of us.
Yeah, criminal. Oh my God.
Branding all of us as criminals. Are you killing me? See, one man action, of course.
Yeah, it's a dent on every
Serious
one of
then
us
on all of
character.
us. So it is on the authority
Yeah,
to do something
do
different,
something.
to recollect, the
Because
lost
I
images.
thought the other day, for me, I've been in Mira for a very long time.
Oh
A
yeah.
lot of them don't know me. I let do my thing in the corner, I go to my house, and what's all that way. But let me tell you, from the time I saw the President of Liberia having splits, the President of Liberia now supposed to have the best headquarters here on 14th Street. When President Selly gave them that money, they didn't understand that was a trap. That was someone who just sat back and observed. And today we stay on Clay Street. Stay on Clay Street. Now, listen to this lady who is providing service for the country. Now she's saying that some the only are criminals.
Mhm.
Ah.
So man, it's so troubling. Well, let's see if we can get few calls within the space of 5 minutes. If no call, then we call it a day.
Yeah.
0887-105-105 077-866-5073 077-866-5073 0887-105-105. And for those of you in the diaspora, you can WhatsApp us on this number that is on the screen. Make your input by calling. Call and let's hear your own.
Let's hear from
Yeah,
you.
let's
Let's
hear
hear
from
from
you.
you.
Yeah, there's a need that we hear
Yeah.
from you because this is not on Rufus and Fomas business. It's
No,
about all of
it's
us,
about all of us.
especially we who find ourselves in the space of journalism. We are journalists.
This is our profession, and then when it's,
Yeah,
the
Mr.
character is dented.
Yeah, let me see if Mr. Alkina Phillips want to participate. Mr. Phillips, let me see if we can get Mr. Phillips on the line. I just seen your message. Let's see if we can get Mr. Phillips on the line. If not, then we will call it a day. But 0887-105-105 077-866-5073 0887-105-105 are numbers to call. And on the live feed, there's a number there. You can also call that number. Yes, call the number and let's have the time talking about these things. It is very serious. It is very serious. This is our profession and we need to safeguard the space. All of us as journalists, we need to safeguard the space.
And our leaders need to separate the goats from the cats,
Yeah.
the sheep from the wolves. A political commentator will only run to the PR because he wants you. Seriously.
Oh yeah.
I'm a political commentator. And then he says anything and there's no justification of what he's saying.
Oh yeah, now. Let's get to the line and take this caller. Hello. Hello. What's your name and you join us from where?
Yeah, I'm monitoring people for the discussion. But you know they have some bad apple. Getting me?
Yeah.
Yeah. You say your name?
Just the other
I'm
one.
Kojo calling from New Jersey. Estate.
Okay, Gojo. Let's hear you.
Yeah. I went to the supermarket and I saw one of the one of the minister calling the journalist car. I was thinking, he allowed the guy to come in, but then he bought a lot of goods for the car. Next time I just passed out and he started to tell the guy some information. And after a few days, myself, I knew that guy. After a few days, the guy went on air. He started to praise the guy. He started to bring out some information. Oh, that's why the guy that they are doing. So the thing your discussion is very important. Considering that your as long we can always be people considering that can balance of people. Thank you this afternoon.
Thank you so well. We appreciate your participation. He said he went to a particular supermarket and there was a big person there who called a certain journalist and then induced him, with a lot of stuff and then the man carry a whole plastic bag. So the man plastic choke, so it became a
so within his eyes and he wouldn't see anything wrong.
Yeah.
Because the guy has sponsored him already.
Oh my God. This is where we are. We need to fight for the liberation of this profession from the hands of the bad ones who have infiltrated themselves in the system.
Yeah.
Yes. Right now, a young man who finds himself in other field of studies.
And he's not successful.
He just crossed over.
Get one smartphone. Get one camera.
You see advocates and all they are tending to be. They are opening newspapers. They are opening because that's one of the easier
way to get to the politicians.
You will know that the politicians, they know the power of the radio. They know the power of the media.
But besides that, these are the kind of resource the people can look for. Politicians. They will all look for the better part. Anybody that I can use. I want to open one newspaper. Fuck off the meditation. This is what they're talking about ownership and proprietorship. That's not the problem of Liberia journalism. Look at one point, my open one religion for you. How much about
3,500.
Yeah. I will lay room for you. You be operating there. But nothing that there will be more talk. I'm on protection there.
0778-665-073 0887-105-105, and the number on the screen there is the WhatsApp line only intended for the people outside of Liberia to participate by calling us on the WhatsApp. Yeah, let's get to hear you, what you have to say. Today is World Press Freedom Day, and the media is being used as a stooge. For
to get the negative.
Yeah, if a politician want to get against it, man, what he will do, you just call someone and you go to that man, make sure you're still on that man. And the public is so toxic to the extent when okay, for instance, if this person is corrupt and he knows very well information about him in the public is not correct. So he got a few of you.
Few of
okay.
Them, and they click.
Yeah.
They click.
So okay, man, you just be putting a good image. Yeah, this is the deal. Yeah.
I will take care of the entire.
I'll take care of the S, Y, and Z. Oh, then everybody. Wake up in the morning. Yeah. You hear the person. In the evening, you hear the man.
Same person.
In the afternoon, you hear the person.
Oh, it's just positive.
Everything about the person is positive.
So Rufus, I think the person of life, you have a greater responsibility.
Very much.
To synchronize the information. If you are a talk show host and you think you are a talk show host and you do not fall under the president of Liberia, you can put it out.
No, there is it. Former, that's another thing. The Table Mountain Declaration and the Amla Act should not cover you because you are not a journalist. It is only intended for journalists. So since you are not a journalist, but you are using the space to get at somebody, anything other than that, the ethical standard,
we shouldn't.
You are not going to be protected by those acts. That's very simple.
It's clear.
Because you cannot force a man to be a part of something that he doesn't want to be a part of, because he has his own inalienable right. Right? He has his own right. But where his right ends is where someone begins. So now you have a right to freedom of expression. But your expression, if it is not in line with the best practice, and you are using a space that is also used by professionals, and you cause some unethical you call ethical transgression.
Transgression.
What covers the people who are in that profession shouldn't cover you. That's very simple.
And most besides that, there are even institutions who are public relations.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah.
shouldn't be protecting them. Let's be honest. If you think you cannot see anything good, what happened to Liberia? Only the negative you can see. There are things we must check you.
Oh yeah.
We must do a serious check on you.
That's very simple. That's very
We
simple.
must do a serious check on you. Then you are now Liberia. You're not checking in the country. Yeah, only the negative you will talk about.
And that's not what journalism call for. Yeah.
You should be the guidance. You be the mirror of the society.
You're a mirror of the society. The good and bad is seen through you. Because you unearth those things and the public becomes the judge. You are not a judge. He said, I will deal with them one. They know me. They know me. I will deal with them one.
But interestingly, they can promise the audience. Say about letting to me 5 o'clock. Still, I will deal with that one. They will not even believe it.
So that's it, man. The media.
We need to
And
do more.
you and I who strive to do the right thing, we are not regarded because that's how our society have turned out to be. It's very toxic.
And then we're ready to work.
So
We can work for the
over,
betterment of
bro.
our children.
Male ole in the garage.
Let's see what's up.
Yeah, it's better that way. It's better to take the path of a snail and get
to
the point that is actually belonging to me than for me to get through the windows or the jet plane to get to the place that is not even I'm not even built for.
The older folks says hurry bus route.
Oh yeah. So that's it. This goes to our young friends as we celebrate this day. It shouldn't just be a day that we gather ourselves as journalists to think about. Every year, May 10th is World Press Freedom Day. It's a day set aside for all of us across the world who are practicing to reflect on the things that. Now, your reflection should be sober. Take a sober reflection.
And Rufa, another thing the press union also should be focused on is this citizen journalism.
Mm-hmm.
Can we find another place we can put them and monitor them? I think Julius Conrad should be answering some of these questions. Can we find somewhere we can put them and monitor them and screen what they're putting on the internet?
Oh yeah, let's get Mr. Phillips. He's one of the hosts of this business talk as we look at youth job creation, and the media is no exception. Mr. Phillips, welcome.
Thank you so much, Rufus. My sincere apologies to all of our listeners today for me not being able to do the program today. I had an appointment that I could not miss. However, my appointment just finished. So I said, well, while I was waiting in the waiting room, I was following the discussion very, very intently. And I had a couple of points to throw into this discussion today.
Mm-hmm.
And I will relate it to the to journalism through the medium of social media as it relates to the U.S. on this side and also to Liberia. Couple of points. Number one, social media has become a very, very important part of the journalism landscape. Very important part. Why is that? Because the technology is driving the sector as opposed to the sector driving the technology. Okay. So that's the first thing. So when the technology takes the lead, what usually happens is that all of the rules, the laws that you were talking about, the journalism creed, doesn't catch up as fast at the pace or the speed of the technology. You get my point, okay? So now here it is. You've got, the advancement of submarine fiber for faster, higher speed internet, more capacity on the internet. You've got mobile operators bringing 4G LTE, talking about 5G.
You've got wireless hotspot technology. Now people can sit anywhere connected to the internet. Then you introduce the smartphone. With the smartphone, then you got what? You got all the apps. You've got YouTube, you've got Facebook, you've got Instagram, you've got TikTok. Then what you've done is, this is very important, you've created millions of citizen journalists. That's what has happened now. So now all of a sudden, you like I think the gentleman who was in the studio who said he doesn't like to be on camera, he doesn't like cameras. I mean, for him, that's a whole different discussion for him on a different day. Because how can you be in the media, you don't like cameras? So we'll discuss that on a different day. That's a different show for a different day later on this year. So, so, so now you've got millions of citizen journalists, and then you introduce into that, Rufus, number two, what we call what? Monetization, right? We're talking about job creation, right? Wealth,
Yeah.
job creation for the young people who are the largest percentage of the citizen journalists within the country. Because if you look at the number of users of smartphones, you will see that the vast population of the smartphone users in the country are not the older people; they're the younger people. They're the younger people. So for them, they're trying to create content. Number three. So media, just like you guys, you're looking at a story and then you have different perspectives. For to the young people who are trying to find by any means necessary, the words of Malcolm X in the US, by any means necessary, to create a revenue stream or to create a job for themselves in an economy that's not creating jobs. So the only thing the guy has is he has a smartphone. Then you tie into that number three, his brother, his sister, his uncle, his aunt in the US who have access to money, they've got jobs. And then you tie into that by Sendwave, right? So now he can call his brother and ask his brother for $10, $20, $30. His brother send him $50, his sister send him 10. Now all of a sudden the guy got $75. What's the first thing he does? The first thing he does, he puts what? Data in his phone. Now he's empowered to be a citizen journalist. But the challenge now becomes credibility. One, he's driven to create content, but he doesn't, like you were saying, where is the training that goes along with this so that he can truly maximize and play a meaningful role? I think one of the other callers talked about the fourth estate, right?
Yeah.
Am I right or wrong? You talked
You're
about the
right.
fourth state, right?
You're right.
Very good. So how can he now play a very influential role? That's the key. A very influential role in a society, in his community, in this nation that we love so much. And that's where the key thing is I've got my own challenges. I don't want to say complaints about the media in Liberia. You guys need to get involved in what we call investigative journalism. That's the key. Don't just focus on the story that is leading in Monrovia. The health sector, for example. What are the challenges in the health sector? That's a whole 1 week series of investigative journalism in the health sector. What's happening in the small business sector? What's happening in the education sector, the vocational school? What's happening in the education sector with all of the high schools, the elementary schools? I mean, what's happening on the gender side? Why are all the young girls in the school becoming pregnant? Is it the unethical actions of teachers exchanging sex for grades? There are critical issues in our nation, in our society that need to be what? Investigated and then converted into stories and ultimately content that can be effectively marketed to draw attention so that those who are involved in that can be taken to the courts and then be penalized for it. But at the same time, it solves a problem. You case in point, you talked about the Diamond Water Company, right? Okay. Let's look at that. Very good journalism. But the issue is the blame lies on two sides. The guy went there, they did the investigative journalism. They saw what was there. They brought it to the owner of the company. The owner of the company had a choice. You either sit in the meeting, you record the content of the meeting, and you say, you know what, I have my company, I've made my investment. You accept the wrongs you've done, and you come clean with your customers and the public. But once you choose to participate in that blackmail, then you are now as guilty as the guys who came with the good intent to do the story. You get my point? You see?
Yeah.
Because the journalists didn't know what was happening at the plant. It was somebody inside that plant who was fed up about what was happening there that chose to call the journalists to say, look, you guys come and see what these people are doing here. They're not investing in the environmental, the health, the cleanliness of the product that we're making. We've talked about it. They don't care about it. So you know what? The only thing we can do is to blow the whistle. That's the basis of investigative journalism. If you go onto YouTube or you go to CBS News, you go to any of the look at what the U.S. ambassador did. Let's look at that story. You know about what the ambassador McCarty did, right? What did he say? He went around the country. He took it upon himself. He said, "I will not be the U.S. ambassador to Liberia in Monrovia. No, I will be the ambassador for this entire nation." He took it upon himself. Read his story. And I will go to every county and I will visit key places where my nation's taxpayers' money is what is being invested. Am I right or wrong? Right? He went to what? To all of the health centers. Now, the two of you guys in the studio, you are media people. When you read his story, isn't that a form of journalism? Tell me, am I right or wrong?
That's journalism.
Very, very good investigative journalism because he laid it down. He connected all of the dots. I went to the Telawea Hospital. I spoke to the staff there. They explained to me the problems. He gave the facts, the figures, the numbers of U.S. taxpayer money in the budget. And he questioned. Okay, the money going in the budget, but is the money leaving from the budget and getting back in the county? Yes or no? So again, investigative journalism by way of the smartphone, by way of citizen journalism is a powerful instrument. It is a powerful tool that could correct the wrongs, adjust our society, adjust and force our leadership to correct themselves. But that's where you guys now, who are the seasoned journalists who've been in this thing for a long time, who come from the old school, must play a role in providing or creating the programs, taking the leadership to educate the young people who want to be like you guys. Because do not run away from the fact that you, Rufus Divine Connor, and your counterpart in the studio, you guys are legendary icons. You guys are legendary icons in this sector because you've been there for a long time. You've established your credibility. There are young people, journalists who want to be like you. Am I right or wrong? Am I right or wrong?
All
You
right.
see? So that gives you the opportunity to say, young people, come and sit down. We're having a 2-day, 3-day teaching training on social media journalism, and there are some ethics that you guys have to go by. So what stops you from doing that? And this is what we all have to pull together and do. The young people need jobs, but there are so many key things that they can play a very instrumental role in the media sector. Create jobs for themselves by creating the right content that a lot of people in this country will really want to spend time and watch and listen to. You know, I went to Rick's Institute. No one has been able to be a citizen journalist to go to Rick's Institute to say, you know what? I want to do a 5-part series on how did this school come about. I want to do a 5-part series on all of the Baptist high schools or boarding schools in this country. How did they come about? That is a story because most of those schools are tied back to the U.S. So there's so much we need to educate the young people about so that as they seek ways for jobs or employment, they can use the technology as a means to generate revenue, create the content that people want, and at the same time make money by doing it and stay within the confines of the rules, the laws, and the regulations. That's my contribution.
Wow, so
If you have
powerful.
any questions, I'm here.
You got any question? Okay. For myself, he doesn't have any question. That's
Yeah.
so powerful. For my you listen to Mr. Phillips.
And I'm impressed with what he just said because our society is evolving.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm saying involving, citizen journalism is another part of journalism that we have never accepted.
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you this because how do we monitor? Anyone can put a smartphone or take pictures. They doesn't know the kind of content to put. So we need to work. We need to do some work. There's some serious work we got to do.
So the mother body
Yeah,
has a major tax.
yeah. But we as an institution, we can teach the course.
Yeah, definitely.
We can teach the course. And Mr. Phillips, I appreciate what you just said. We can work on that, especially on the side of that citizen journalism. We can work on that instead of having people just walking around and yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Phillips.
Well, I will end with this. I will end with this. If you look at the current, forgive my granddaughter here today.
No
If
problem.
you look at the current trend of things in the U.S., right? If you look at the current trend of things in the U.S., just notice one thing. Observe it. When Donald Trump was in office the first time, he had a problem with the media because the media were not pro-Trump. So in his when he was when he left office, he created his own social media platform called what? Truth Social. Go and look it up. He created his own social media platform because he said, you know what? I'm no longer going to surrender my message to the big
Fox,
media, the
the Fox,
ABC,
the
the
ABC.
CNN.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. I am going to create my own social media platform so that I can what be in control of my own public relations as it relates to my leadership, my government, my administration, my policies, my programs. I will be the one to direct everything. Google it. It's called Truth Social. So now when Trump wants to make a statement, he doesn't go to ABC News. No. He takes his phone. So he's a president and he's also a what? A
Influencer.
citizen
Influencer.
journalist.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So what has he done? I will use the word that the journalist there who doesn't like the camera
Sorry.
use.
Sorry.
He just used the powerful word. He used the powerful word. He said what? It is what? It is evolving. Isn't that the word you use?
Yeah, that's
Isn't that the
exactly.
word you use?
That's exactly.
That's it. It is evolving. So as things are evolving, the question now becomes, is the media landscape, the journalism landscape of the Republic of Liberia transforming as this landscape is evolving? Yes or no? That's the question for you media men. Are you adjusting to the transformation as things evolve? That's the question.
For me, I'm not.
Because
For me, I'm not too
Liberia is
sure.
43,000 square. Yeah.
For me, I'm not too
Well,
sure.
that question is for you.
I'm not
Well,
too
then,
sure.
yeah, and that's where you need to lead because you guys are the veterans in the industry. You need to lead on that because there are more stories that are taking place in the country, like Ambassador McCarthy put up. The question is, right? Somebody put a story up today that USAID, I think they collected all their badges yesterday,
Yeah.
right? They collected all their badges, they closed up. That's exactly right. Somebody put up a very, very important story today. So, what happens to all of that
Please,
human resource capacity
Please.
that is now available, that is now available to the government of Liberia. Are those Liberians just going to walk away and be unemployed? Those were capable, competent, experienced people running USAID programs in that country, connecting the USAID with government. Is government going to be able to see the opportunity of those competent, capable, experienced Liberians and attract them? Yes or no? That is a very, very big story. Or are we going to continue to focus only on the speaker issue, or focus on the diamond water issue, or focus on the yellow machine issues, or because I'm just asking the question.
Making a
So
very
that's where citizen journalism comes. Yes, yes, okay. So that's my contribution to the show. That the young people have a very important role to play. Social media can create a lot of jobs. Content which can create jobs, but we just need to educate. We just need to educate the young people as to how to go about doing it. There's a right way. There's a wrong way. There's a professional way. There's an effective way. And that's where you guys, who are the older people, the experienced people, start organizing yourselves, start having seminars and programs and attracting these young citizen journalists and directing them to go and do stories on different things. Okay? Thank you for the show, guys. Let me go back to watching and listening.
Thank you. Time is fast, man. Thank
Yeah.
you so much, Mr. Phillips. I love being around him and
He got
having
he got he got
conversation.
words
He's
of
a
wisdom,
reservoir of
experience.
experience
Yeah.
and wisdom. Yes, Mr. Phillips. Since I got to know him, there have never been a dull day
I've
with
been
him.
I've been following business talk, but
There have never been a dull
so
day with him.
it's just
Yeah,
a privilege to be here
yeah,
today.
yeah. So our time is up. So what's your parting?
Okay, my parting comments will be this. I think if our leadership, I'm talking about the president of Liberia, have decided to go to remain arcade, journalists in Liberia will need to take a different trend because it depends on our country. We shouldn't be running after all of this from the Capitol building, from the executive mansion, and forgetting what happened in other places that are so pressing. And disappointingly, our leadership were in court. Our leadership, two different people, they in court. Somebody can say, no, I saw Rano, yeah, that's it.
And of the president,
Yeah.
people still don't
Yes.
recognize
So what's the credibility?
our man as the president.
So Rufus, yeah, just for the time.
Yeah, he's Farm Format. He's the director of programs and radio here at Love FM. Format was here with me on the program, The Business Talk. Today, Alva Tuba and Mr. Alkina Phillips couldn't be on camera. Mr. Tuba is engaged. He's out of state, so he's not in the reach of his setup. You listen to Mr. Phillips through via the phone. He made his own input, and it was highly, highly, highly appreciated. But let me actually conclude with our creed once again. Before we go to the creed, it was an extension of the program, and the topic young creation, job creation for the youth, and we saw it from a media perspective. Yeah, the media is another part of job creation. It's also part of the job creation. So it's a space where young people use, to do things and get information across. So let's get this. I believe in the profession of journalism. I believe that the public journal is a public trust that all connected with it are to the full measure of their responsibility trustees for the public that acceptance of a lesser service than the public service is a betrayal of this trust. I believe that clear thinking and clear statement, accuracy, and fairness are fundamental to good journalism. I believe that a journalist should write only what he holds in his heart to be true. I believe that suppression of the news for any consideration other than the welfare of society is indefensible. I believe that no one should write as a journalist what he would not say as a gentleman. That bribery by one's own pocketbook is as much to be avoided as bribery by the pocketbook of another. That individual responsibility may not be escaped by pleading another's instructions or others' dividend. We stop it this far. Like I always say, two things in this life will always be remembered for: the problems we create and the problems we solve. And we must take responsibility of two things in our lives: our fortune and that of our misfortune. In union consensus is show with God above our rights to prove we over or prevail. With hearts and hands, our country cause defending. We meet the foe with valor unpretending. I love to leave you with the words from Mahatma Gandhi that states, and I quote, Mahatma Gandhi is one of those guys who was very wise in his utterances. And he said, you know, before I get to that, something caught my attention. And I saw a sneak peek before reaching his farm. Oh my. Hey, interesting to know that some of our colleagues are sharing the show and some of them mad with us. Very mad at us. Yeah, very mad at us. But the truth must be told. Yes, the truth must be told. He says the difference between what we do and what we are capable of doing will suffice to solve most of the world's problems, unquote. You and I, we are very capable of doing something. And there are others who are not capable. We can be a help to them to make the world a better place. Have you and yours a wonderful and God bless day. Follow the rest of our broadcast and join us, God willing, when the full team will be here next Saturday for the program Business Talk, right here on Love TV and Love FM 105.1.
Business Talk. In 1 hour 30 minutes, we provide listeners with up to date information and insights into various aspects of business and finance. We engage in insightful discussions with local and international business leaders, economists, entrepreneurs, and other professionals. Join Love FM 105.1 and Love TV Live this and every Saturday from